Good morning, everybody. I am so excited to be here with you on this amazing Thursday. We are continuing the party and talking about all the things that I like to call coaching, cocktails, and conversation. So, let me tell you how we bring that into BWC every single week. Coaching is all about leaving you with a couple nuggets just to challenge your thinking. I love to take you on a road of imagery. And today we are going to do that again and again. Cocktails is not so much about what you're sipping on. It's more about celebrating the absolute greatness of who it is that you are so that then you can move into these juicy conversations that we are having. For all of you all that I don't yet know, I want to say hello. I can see here that there are over 100 folks that are in the clubhouse room. I want to say hey to LinkedIn, to YouTube, and to Facebook, as well as my podcast, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, because today, listen, we're jumping all the way in. Today, I really wanted to talk about navigating further when your train stalls on the tracks. Okay, I want to say that one more time. How to navigate for further and farther when your train feels like it stalls on the tracks of work, of life, of home. And I know that we've all been there. So some of you might say, okay, but who exactly are you, right? I am a certified life, leadership, and executive coach. I am a small business owner, TEDx speaker, author, you name it. I'm likely doing it, including mothering. And I'm so excited to come to you all right here and to leave you with some strategies, some tips, and some tricks on exactly what we do when things feel like they're stalled out a little bit. I want to say hello to Jackie Underwood. Hey there. Hey, she said, good morning. Good morning. Evelyn, my mom, hi there, is watching, likely with my 92-year-old grandmother. So I want to say hello to her as well. I love the intensified pink. Lynn Luckett said, I love it. And from Yvette Searson, good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, you all, we only have a half an hour of power. So I want to dig all the way in so that we can have conversations as we go, should you choose to jump all the way in. Today is about navigating further and farther when your train feels like it stalls on the tracks. Okay. Now, what am I talking about? So sometimes, because I'm a certified life leadership and executive coach, I have folks that come in all the time and say, guess what? I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm not moving. I feel like there's more for me, but I can't quite see the other side of where it is that I want to go. And I want help in order to continue moving. And so sometimes I love to remind you that you are the conductor aboard your train, right? This isn't the first time, in case you've been with me on this journey. If you haven't, what I want to remind you is, what if you have this amazing, beautiful train, and mine is gorgeous. It has purple all over it because that is one of my favorite colors. It is my favorite color. And it has my name in script on the side. Imagine yours, right? It's a luxury liner. It has all the bells and whistles, and it says Lolita right on the side. And so I want you to picture what yours looks like. Insert your name where appropriate, okay? And you are the conductor aboard this train. So you have the authority. You have the decision-making power. You have the chance to stop, to start, to let people off of your train, to bring people on top of your train, whatever it is that you want in order to move forward to your next destination. And quite frankly, the clarity of where it is that you're going longer term is exactly where we want to go. Now, sometimes we don't know where that is, but today what I want to talk to us about is, how do you keep on going when your train, because you're the conductor, feels like it's stopped right there? Like you can't go anymore because life is happening. Life is happening and you feel like you're stuck. And so I know that there's somebody who has felt this way before. I know I have. And so I want to talk to you about a couple of things. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is remain calm. Remain calm. Easier said than done, but when you choose to remain calm, you choose to take a breath and realize that I'm standing right here. Realize that I'm standing right here. And so the first strategy I'm going to leave you with for today inside of the acronym CALM, because we are remaining calm when we feel like this crisis is happening and now our train is stalled and now we're not moving forward. So again, whether this is at work, whether this is at home, whether this is at school, whether this is just in life and you moving, something has happened and you feel like I'm standing right here and there are these obstacles that might be standing in front of me. Oh, I can think of a lot of things that have me stalled in different facets of my life right now. So I just want you to think of one. And you don't need to say it out loud inside of this moment, that will come. But I want you to think of one so you can journey this path forward. And then at the end of this, the goal is to leave you with some strategies and some tips and some considerations on what it is you can do in order to get moving. Because the goal, I'm imagining you're with me, is to continue to keep on moving because life is too short and we have goals and things that we need to do. Dr. Janie talked to us about 5 years. She has been wanting to get on a national television show where she is a prominent figure inside of that. 5 years. So five can be 15, it can be 25, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 5 months, it could be 5 years. Listen, if you listen to my TEDx talk before, I actually say that. But it can be these moments in time, these momentary interruptions that happen in your life when you feel like you're stalled right there on something that it is that you want to do. But I want you to remember that you're standing right here. And the first thing that you're going to do is collect the info on what you know, not on what you don't know, not on what you think you know, on what exactly you do know, what is true inside of this situation. I'm going to talk about my 11-year-old son. Sometimes he listens in, but I'm going to talk to you about Walker. And sometimes I talk to him about something that's going on, and he'll come home from school and he'll just talk about, a situation that's going on. And here's the thing, let's talk about the facts. Let's talk about what you do know. Let's talk about what is happening. Because oftentimes, just like my 11-year-old son, it happens with me and my 45-year-old body, is sometimes we have these narratives of what is happening, but sometimes that is our emotions that are speaking, not necessarily the facts. And so what I want you to do is, now that you're stalled on this train, is I want you to collect the information that you do know. So I'm standing right here. I'm stalled. I'm not moving forward. I've been sitting on top of this project that I'm supposed to be doing for school, and I just cannot move. I've been procrastinating all of these things. All of these distractions are coming my way. And so, what is it that I do know? I want you to think about in your own situation to collect the information that you do know. We're moving fact from fiction. We're moving distractions out of the way. We're coming back in to get ourselves aligned, because what we do know is that we're not moving and we're sitting at this place. And what we're trying to do is trying to figure out exactly where it is that we are so we could determine what it is we need to do next. So then we can get to where we're going. Think about starting your business. Think about if you're writing a book. Think about if you just got married. Think about the next decision you have to make. All I want you to do is choose one to go on this journey of you being at the helm. So the first thing we want to do is to collect the information that we absolutely do know. Next, we want to assess what and who is at our disposal. So now your train is just stopped right there. You've already collected what it is you do know. You've already moved some things to the side. You're getting a little more clear. Some people might have jumped off the train, fortunately or unfortunately, but that is what it is that's happening right here at this stop that has happened on our tracks. Okay. Now we want to assess what and who is at our disposal. So who are the folks that's still around? What is it that is at your disposal in order to move forward? Because now that we've collected all the information of what we do know, now that we've gained a little bit more clarity, we can start increasing our confidence by assessing who and what is at your disposal. So you're going to walk through your entire training. You're going to look at the resources that are around you, and you're going to understand now who can help you to move forward. Because what? We've assessed and collected the information on what it is that we do know for where it is that we want to go. Remember, this is about you putting yourself at the helm of your train and why you are stalled in maybe even one aspect of life. If you've been around this journey with me for a while, then you know that I firmly believe that there are 11 aspects of life. And one day we'll talk about those again. If you haven't or you don't remember what they are, you can go back to my podcast, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, and likely on Breakfast with Champions podcast as well, which is likely there as well. I want you to think about collecting the information that you know. We're gathering this clarity. We're clearing out the fog. We're assessing what and who is at our disposal. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes when we're collecting the information on what we do know, we actually have to look out the window and see if there's any obstructions that are inside of our way. I'm going to pause on that. What are the obstructions that are in your way from moving forward? Remember, this is what we're talking about, is how do we get clear? If your goal is to continue moving forward on your track, then I want you to think about, what is it that is in my way? Maybe my train hit something. Maybe there's many obstacles that are there because we're focused on where it is we want to go. So we want to clear those things out. And how are you going to do it? Well, you got to assess what and who is at your disposal. I love that. Lynn Luckett said, yes, when fear shouts at me, I speak back to it with facts. Oh my gosh, so true. That's exactly what I'm talking about, is that sometimes we have to really think about what are the facts here, because we could get clouded with all the things that our mind wants to tell us, all the things of why we can't move forward, all the things of why now. I'll give an example of something happening in my life. Why now? It's only a couple more weeks inside of this semester, and I swear it is about 6 different deliverables that I have to deliver. But what are the obstacles that are getting in the way? What are the choices I can make? Who are the people that are around me? What is on my train that can help me push over the edge? And what do I have to move out of the way, Lolita E. Walker, in order to make sure I get my goal? Sometimes it's the brush that's in the way. Sometimes it's the extra stuff. Sometimes it's the things we call facts that's not really facts that are in the way. And if we just scoot those over to the side just a little bit, we'll be walking, talking, and behaving differently. Lynn Luckett said for her, the obstruction is always a fear. And I think sometimes when we go to look into what is in the way, oftentimes it will come down to the why. You know, we talk about 3 whys. Sometimes you can go to 5, but I love 3. And so if you dig into why that obstruction continues to be in your way, you'll result likely inside of a fear that is sitting right there. And I love that Lynn Luckett says sometimes you got to kind of move these things out of the way. I love that Rosa said yes, yes, and yes. So journey with me on here, and we're going to continue to go. I love that. Rosa also said, we must fall in love with our future so we can pull the ways of being that we need today to hug our future selves. Fear or not, we must do it. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely, Rosa. I also oftentimes talk about these discussions that we have with our future self or with our inner selves, right? Assess who and what is at your disposal. Who and what that's at your disposal is absolutely your future self, because when you look out and you have these conversations with your future self and you say, hey, dear me, you are standing right there. What emotions feel you? How do you feel? What do you look like? What are you doing? What do you have on? How are you celebrating that win at the end? I want you to assess who and what is at your disposal, because you have work to do. And when our goal is that end state, then we pump ourselves up because we know how we look, how we feel, how we're imagining what we're going to do with this at the end of the day and what the impact is. And if you choose not to do it inside of this moment, what is the loss that you will experience? If you're not going to experience the loss, then I want to challenge you, because it's probably not where you need to be inside of this moment. We're assessing what and who is at our disposal. Absolutely. Next, we want to let go of what may be keeping us stalled. Listen, we already are on a train. We're remaining calm. We're taking these 4 strategies. We're seeing how we can apply it to our work, our life, and our home. We've talked about the first step of collecting information of what we do know. We want to make sure we're clear on our facts, and we're separating the things that are not facts. We're separating the fiction, because sometimes we can tell ourselves things that get us out of the way. Sometimes it's other people that start to tell us why we can't move forward or start to put the obstructions in front of us. And sometimes we got to weed and wade our way through that. And you can, and you will, because the second thing that I talk to you all about is assessing what and who is at your disposal. And sometimes it's that accountability partner that you're going to call, because they will help to push you and remind you of your why you're doing this thing. They might remind you that, hey, wait a minute, there's an obstruction right there. They might remind you that, oh my gosh, the reset button is right here. Let's get going. Why are you still here? You've been here for 7 days and you're just now calling me? Let me go hit the reset button for you so that I can go with you on your journey. I've already got my bags packed. Sometimes you have to reassess who and what is on your train so that you can get moving. Sometimes we're in our own way. Sometimes we allow other people's fears to get in our own way. I love that. So, I was looking at Instagram today and I shared the story. So if you follow me at H Coach Walker, it's on my story. And there was this woman who I follow all the time. I think she's so positive. She cracks me up all the time. And she was talking about, that there's gatekeepers in life. And don't be a gatekeeper. Don't close the door and think that you have the only key that holds somebody there. Who are you to do that because of what you have experienced in life? And so, what I want to remind you in this instance is that if there is a gatekeeper in front of you who has locked the door, I want you to bang the door. You got a whole train. You're driving a whole train, drive through it. You create the table where you want to be. And sometimes you don't even need to destroy your train by driving through it, because guess what? There's a track right next door. Sometimes you got to leave the train that you're on. My beautiful train that I talked to you guys about with the script on the side that's purple and Lolita. Sometimes there's a new and improved version. And sometimes you got to move the folks from in there to go on that next luxury liner and keep it moving. Sometimes you don't even need to destroy the train that you already have. Sometimes that train needs to be there and be in the junkyard. So you keep it right there. We're talking about your work, your life, your home, your school, your all of the things. And when there's barriers that are right in front of you, I want to challenge you to really assess and collect what is that thing. And then how do we, sometimes stuff isn't worth your energy. What is it that you want to do? Kate Volman always talks about creating for no reason, right? Create for no reason. How can you think out of your box to get around that thing? Because sometimes we forget that our whole brain works. Our whole brain works. I want you to start thinking about that as well. Today, we're talking about how to navigate when you think that your train is stalled. I love that Dr. Jeannie. Hey, Dr. Jeannie. She said, almost done with that first year of that doctoral training and next gear, Lolita. Thank you so much. Sometimes I have to remember that in these next couple of weeks, guess what? I'll be done with year number 1 of my doctoral journey. Like, that's a big deal. So when I want to look out and I feel all of these obstructions that are around me for these last 2.5 weeks, because I don't just do school, I have a lot of other things going on. But if that is a key priority for me, which it is, then I need to look ahead and recognize, believe, and trust that I need to move things out of my way because I've got to keep moving, right? I love that. That's a great example. Right? We are collecting the information of what I know for sure, moving distractions out of the way. We are assessing what and who is at our disposal. Who is at my disposal? Dr. Jeannie is, right? She's been on the journey. I have professors they've been on the journey. So many things. I'm talking about school, but you might be talking about work. You might be talking about your business. You might be talking about a certain aspect of your business. I want you to think strategically on how exactly you're going to move past this, because the answers, they're right here, or they're with people who are at your disposal. And sometimes they are a link away. On LinkedIn, when you see that it's not your first connection, it might be your second or your third connection. Reach out to your first connection and say, hey, introduce me to this person right here. And if they become the obstruction, then you inbox that person and you say, hey, guess what? This is who I am. And this is an ask that I have of you because this is what I see in you. Who's stopping you from doing that? Who told you that you can't move? Right? It's right here. You can do it. You possess the skill set to be able to do it. So today, I'm encouraging you to get back on the track. The 3, the L, okay? We're talking CAL. We're at L is let go of what may be keeping you stalled. Let go, right? We started talking about that, is letting go of what might keep you stalled. Sometimes it's the people, places, or things that might be doing it. And guess what? It might only be for a season that you have to get rid of this. It might only be for the next couple of weeks that you have to get rid of this thing. And then you reassess exactly what it is. But you got to let go of the weight that might be holding you back, if that is what's keeping you from your train. Sometimes it's one of the cabooses back there that you're going to have to delink so that you can move with a new vigor, with a new rigor, with a new type of momentum. Sometimes it might just be that. Sometimes when you scoot on over, you got the Acela line. Now you're moving at a higher speed. And sometimes everybody can't keep up with your speed. But when you know where it is that you're going, when you're grounded in what it is that you stand on your foundation of, you all know, for me, it's my faith and my strengths. I talk about it all the time. And when I'm clear about leveraging my resources because things have moved out of my way, now I'm moving at the Acela type of speed. I hope this is happening for you right now. I love that. Mitch from Sweden, hi, Mitch from Sweden, said, all we have is now. We can be our own calm centers of the universe. Oh, how powerful is that? We can be our own calm centers, our C, our A, our L, our M of our universe, of the universe. I love that, Mitch. That's so good. We too can choose each of these strategies to implement today. They're not rocket science, but they are something that needs to challenge you a little bit differently, because sometimes we get in our own way and we feel stalled. How do I know? Because I've been there. How do I know? Because some of you all are my clients. How do I know? Because I talk to people all the time who also get a little stalled. Today is about understanding what that is and then moving to a renewed action. Lynn Luckett said, I remember doing this exercise with you during one of our coaching sessions where you had me to ask people to allow me to see myself through their eyes. They identified my strengths from their perspectives. When I identified the obstruction, I used the information that they gave me as facts to tag to the obstruction and continue to move forward. Oh my gosh, so good. I stay giving people soul work. This is so good. Yes. So when Stacy, and I thank you for bringing that up, Stacy, and thank you for being so vulnerable, because this exercise was so good. So one of the things that I had Stacy do inside of our sessions was go and ask people certain things, because she had this goal and she was moving forward. But sometimes all of these things that we're telling ourselves get in the way. So sometimes we got to hear it from other people. We take the good that other people give us, and we listen to the opportunities, and then we take those pieces that we need in order to shift, because we understand our strengths. Anyway, as I come back to what I'm talking about today, this exercise that she went and she talked to these people and she got back all these facts, and she had no clue that some of these people felt the way that they did. And they were telling her these strengths that she had. And guess what else they were doing? They were telling her not only the strengths, but how they had seen it in her, how she had demonstrated it. And so what it started to do is that she started to pair that, as she said, she started to pair that with the obstruction or the fear that was before her. And those things started to get her engine going again on that train, right? Absolutely. Those are the things that we need to challenge ourselves with. And when we choose to do the work for that, believe me when I tell you that we will start moving again. I love that. The enabler said, please, can the calm and its acronym meaning be typed in the chat room? Oh, absolutely. I would love if somebody would do that. So let me tell you what they are again, so that somebody can type it. And you know what else? Let me tell you, you can go to @HeyCoachWalker. I'll have it up right after this, what the acronym is, and you'll be able to see it as well. And I would absolutely love your feedback on it, right? I'd love to know, how is it that you felt inside of the moment? Did you attach yourself to something that I was talking about? Did one of the strategies stick out the most? What is it inside of this thing? So the remain calm is to collect information on what you know. The facts only. Collect information on what you know, and then you only keep the facts. The rest becomes distractions right now. The A is to assess what and who is at your disposal, because they're right there. The L is about letting go of what may be keeping you stalled, letting it go, moving on. And then guess what the M is? Move, because it's time. Let's get to action. It's move because it's time. The time is now. Why wait until tomorrow when the time is right now? And so what I want you, thank you so much, Angeline. I so appreciate you for typing that inside of the chat. For all of you all on Facebook, somebody will type it up, or you could go back and listen. My Facebook, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, the podcast, of course, you could just press rewind. LinkedIn, I'll make sure I have that up today. And YouTube, you can hear it there as well. Love it. And Breakfast with Champions podcast, it'll be there as well. And so what I'd love to do, we have 5 more minutes. You know, I can talk through the 5 minutes, but I want to open it up and see if anybody had anything live that they wanted to share.
Okay. Greetings, Feline here.
Hey, Feline.
Lolita, how you doing?
Good morning. Good morning from Belize.
Good morning. Well, that last part, move. I love that it ends with move, because action, is the fuel. Action is what will take us where we need to go. We can't just be sitting here with all the knowledge and all the information and all the everything without moving, putting that into action. So thank you for ending on that powerful note. I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Feline. I love to say Feline from Belize because I love when I can connect the two. And guess who I've met in person? Feline from Belize. So I appreciate that, Feline. One, for you being here, but two, for you really stating the end of the day is to move. End of the day is to move. Who else was it that had something that they wanted to add to the puzzle? Hey, Jackie. Good morning.
Hey,
We can't hear Jackie.
Come just a little
you
bit.
hear me now?
There you are.
There you
Oh,
are.
sorry. I'm in the gym. My microphone was in my head. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So just real quickly about letting go. I realize now that if you don't let go, you don't go up. You don't go anywhere. You got to let go. And Lolita, I want to just thank you for your coaching and everything that you poured into my life over the past year. It's been amazing. It's making me who I am now. So I just want to say thank you and I love you so much. Back to you.
You, Jackie. Listen, Jackie is doing some amazing things, you guys. I tell you, when I talk about my Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat, Sidetrack is on sale, super sale for this month. This is the month of mindfulness and for moving and for mental health. So my Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat is on a super sale right now. You can check that out at Hey Coach Walker on Instagram or lolitawalker.com. I would absolutely love to have you. There's only limited seating, so I hope that you will get on there. But for Jackie, sometimes you can see people's growth right in front of your eyes, literally. And Jackie is one. And I'm also so proud of you as well. We have a couple of more minutes. Anybody else want to jump in?
Hey, Lolita. This is Stacy. Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
It's so good to hear everyone hear you today. I wanted to just say that first, thank you for your services and for pouring into my life. I also wanted to say, when you talk about um, collecting the information so that you can use it to dispel all of the obstructions. When I reached out to those people and asked them how do they see me, allowed me to see myself through their points of view. I didn't just use it for that moment when we talked about the fear that was choking me out of life. I collected it and I used it. I put it on a piece of paper and I took a picture of it, put it in my phone so I could have it everywhere I go. And when obstructions began to speak, when fear began to speak to me, those became my scriptures. I would say, no, 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 no. I am a great writer. I am a great speaker. I am a great presenter. I show up for people every single time. And I had to be very intentional because obstruction didn't want to go. Fear didn't want to go. We had to box for a minute. And I had to be intentional about it. And it didn't leave immediately. I had to continue to say, just like the doctoral journey is an iterative process, it was iterative for me. I had to continue and continue and continue to speak to it until to the other part, the facts became the strong man in my life. So thank you for that activity that we went through. It is still working. It is still speaking. It is still standing up and helping to shape my life today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. Want to Stacy, so many things I want to say can't fit within a minute, but I so appreciate you doing the work continuously and you also being one of my accountability partners to ensure that I'm doing the work to keep on pressing through. So I appreciate you. Want to give a shout out to Tara Murney. Thank you so much for just being who it is that you are. She gave you some kudos and said yes, yes, and absolutely yes. Keep on going. And this is wonderful. So everyone, I would absolutely love if you would head on over to at Hey Coach Walker. I've just posted the acronym CALM, CALM. And this is a reminder, stay calm when you feel as though your train has stalled for just a moment. And remember that it is a momentary interruption in your life and you have the ability to keep on moving. And so I can't wait to hear what are you moving out of your way to get to what goal that you have. And I hope to see you in September because my weekend renewal retreat is #amazing. Okay. So thank you guys so much. And I'll see you all next week.